Okay, good morning, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got Manak with me again this morning. You want to say hi, make sure everyone can hear you, Mank?
How we doing, everyone? Everyone's hopefully the audible is good and everyone's ready to close out this week of trading here.
Cool, maybe someone can punch in the chat, just let us know. I'll try and keep an eye on that. Moving forward, making sure that we're not going out in mute like yesterday. So, okay. Not seeing anything in the chat, but it is a bit delayed. I can see the sound coming through on the OBS, so I'm going to assume it's all working. Okay, guys, it's Friday. It is Friday the 16th, OPEX day, and it's starting to look like a traditional OPEX day. So let's get straight into the charts and the action. So I think key point to note right off the bat is we do have the active fail breakdown of the morning session low from yesterday at 69.93. It was kind of yeah, we put in a small low off the open yesterday at 94, and then did a micro fail breakdown of that. I think Adam traded that one. Some in the Discord did. I didn't personally. I was looking to get in the afternoon session here. That was the video replay from yesterday. And maybe the interesting point to note there is all of that action where I was waiting for it to reclaim is now considered kind of the start of acceptance for the trade that ultimately triggered around 8:15 last night Eastern time. So I know some of us took that one per the newsletter and per the trade plan. The suggestion there was that was the add-on strength level after another little dip, and we got a little bit of a dip coming into that, pushed up through, set us up for a long, and we got a couple of levels out of that. And that trade is still currently active until we lose 69.77. But I mean, you could see the action already this morning. We're just coiled up in a really, really tight range here between 88 and 98, kind of 10-point range. So let's just take a quick look at the bigger picture, and then we'll get into some of the trade ideas for today. So, trading right at that 93 level currently, somewhere in the middle of the 5-day range, in the middle of the prior day's range, these 61, 63 percentages. The overnight range has been almost entirely above the close yesterday. So that's kind of an interesting point to note. The probability that we go back and test the close from yesterday or settlement from yesterday is relatively high. So we can certainly be looking for that dip off this 93 level back down to the close, which was, I think, in the 70s somewhere. And ideally, well, we'll discuss that. But so, buy the dip continues. 69 is the critical sort of line in the sand, the bull bear line still. We keep running into resistance up in the up above 7,000, 7,020, 7,000. Sorry, my screen's gone blank here. What's going on? Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so one of my screens has gone completely blank, so I'm slightly disturbed by that. Okay, hopefully maybe you can just confirm that it's still coming through on the YouTube, because I can't see any of that stuff right now.
Let me take a look.
So what I've got here as well, hoping you guys can still see this, but I did take a quick look at the last three OPEXs. They are notoriously choppy. The last three, we've been quite spoilt. It's from December. We got a big move up off the open, and then it kind of decayed into chop after that. November was fairly volatile as well. We got some decent moves, some decent swings, but I mean, you could still see like a lot of wicks on all of these candles before we get that nice price action. So this is kind of the area you want to avoid trading in when you're just getting each candle whipsawing up and down. And November to fairly big move from 7,000 at the open. No, sorry, 6,700 at the open to 67.70 by the close. So the last few we have been spoilt. So perhaps laws of probability means that today is going to be a choppy one. So let's get into the trade plan for today. Mayank, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so the only thing I'm really tracking at the moment is the prior day low failed breakdown because I already took the 93 last night, as did you, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I'm just gonna try to hold this runner, especially in this OPEX. So far, it's looking like prime OPEX chop, and we haven't even really opened the session up.
Yeah.
So, I really, unless we see some like nice volatility, which for me would be, us losing the low we set yesterday, around 74, 75 or so, I don't really want to engage in anything new. I'll just kind of hold this runner and kind of call it a week if that's what happens. But if not, I will definitely engage in that failed breakdown. And we do have 69 below us as well. But obviously now with the new structure, you would probably want to wait and make sure that this 74 75 area first clears before taking that long. Reminders as always. It's Friday, so if you've had a great green week, don't force it. Be smaller sized. Protect your profits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So make sure that that's always something you're paying attention to, right? I mean, you guys will see me. I will give a lot of sports analogies, but another one I like to like think of with Friday is like if it's fourth quarter of a game and you're already winning by quite a bit of points and you've already kind of essentially won the game. At this point, all you're doing is just protecting the lead, right? And just kind of running out the clock and kind of trying to wait for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you kind of think of it if you've had a nice green week here. If not, kind of keep watching for that setup. I think the best one would be that failed breakdown at 69.75. But besides that, if you caught the 93 last night, it was a pretty solid setup. We did have some acceptance there, prior to about 8:30. That's kind of anytime after 8:30 I thought was a good time to enter, and that's kind of what I highlighted in the channel after that we had a little bit of a 4 or 5 point dip and then kind of returned back to the level and we're kind of hovering there for a few minutes. So I felt good to take that long there, even though the volatility was definitely slow last night.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything to do up here in this region. So I mean, hopefully, folks are in runners, if not from 37, perhaps from the 93. So I just wouldn't engage in, or the 69 when we reclaimed that. Was that yesterday evening? So I just wouldn't
Yeah, I've
engage
had a few
in anything.
people ask about, hey, can I take 93 again? But I don't know. It's just at this point, if you can even just see in a 15 minute the amount of chop we have at this level. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not the highest quality to try it again at this point. You're almost better off just waiting for a little bit of an elevator down flush to re-engage in something at this point.
Yeah, and when it initially triggered here, it's kind of a traditional fail breakdown with the flush and the reclaim, and at this point, it's a traditional fail breakdown, and here it's starting to, if you're re-engaging here, you're just doing a level reclaim really, and then you've got all this noise, and with OPEX, it's lower probability. But yeah, I think the one thing that would interest me is if we push up, fail to go too much higher, come down, test the prior day's close, and put in a failed breakdown, maybe hold 69 and recover the 77 or 75 level, or flush 69 and put in a failed breakdown of the 69 level.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely the best one of the day.
yeah, so that's what we'll be watching out for. But come midday, I'll probably be winding down. I don't think I'll be engaging anything after the morning session is done, to be honest. So yeah, with that, I think we'll sign off. Catch you guys in the Discord, and yeah, hopefully we get something to talk about on the trade recap front. If not, we'll catch you Sunday.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good one.
All right, bye for now.